The Mendelssohn Scholarship refers to two scholarships awarded in Germany and in the United Kingdom. Both commemorate the composer Felix Mendelssohn, and are awarded to promising young musicians to enable them to continue their development. History. Shortly after Mendelssohn's death in 1847, a group of his friends and admirers formed a committee in London to establish a scholarship to enable musicians to study at the Leipzig Conservatoire, which Mendelssohn had founded in 1843. The fundraising included a performance of Mendelssohn's Elijah in 1848, featuring Jenny Lind. The link between London and Leipzig fell through, resulting in two Mendelssohn scholarships. Mendelssohn Scholarship in Germany. In Germany, the Mendelssohn Scholarship was established in the 1870s as a scholarship for foreign students to attend the Leipzig Conservatoire, and was funded by the Prussian state as part of an arrangement under which the Mendelssohn family donated the composer's manuscripts to the state. The first recipient was the composer, Engelbert Humperdinck, who used it to travel to Italy in 1879. The scholarship in honor of a Jewish composer was discontinued by the Nazis in 1934. It was revived by the Ministry of Culture of the former East Germany in 1963, in the form of two annual prizes for composition and for performance. It is now awarded by the Prussian Cultural Heritage Foundation. Recipients as well as Humperdinck. Recipients include the pianist Wilhelm Kempff and the composer Kurt Weill. The following is an incomplete chronological list of recipients of the German Mendelssohn Scholarship. 1879 to 1935, 1879 Engelbert Humperdinck, 1880 Marie Soldat, 1881 Bernhard Stavenhagen, Philip Wolfram, 1882 Iacob Mureșanu, 1887 Waldemar von Bausnern. Between 1887 and 1896 Karel Gregorovich, 1890 Bram Eldering, 1893 Carl Thiel, 1895 Elsie Stanley Hall, 1896 Paul Duon, 1889 Percy Sherwood, 1900 Karl Klingler, 1901 Eline, 1902 Alfred Sittard, 1902 Ignaz Wagelter, 1906 Sarah Gurewicz, 1910 Anamp, 1913 Ernst Tock, 1912 Liko Imar, 1913 Hans Bassmann, Misha Levitsky, Max Trapp, 1913 Anamp, 1918 Erwin Schulhoff, 1915 Hans Bullerian, 1917 Wilhelm Kempff, Emil Peters, 1918 Pancho Vladicherov, 1919 Kurt Weill, 1920 Pancho Vladicherov, 1925 Berthold Goldschmidt, Max Rostel, 1926 Ignaz Strasvogel, Ernst Pepping, 1928 Hans Humpert, 1928 Grete von Zieritz, 1928 Wilhelm Strauss, 1929 Herbert Marx, 1930 Ludwig Holscher, 1931 Kurt Fiebig, Roman Totenberg, Arthur Balsam, 1932 Norbert von Hannenheim, Harold Jensmer, 1933 Werner Trenkner, Bernhard Haydn, 1935 Fritz Werner, Johannes Schneider-Marfels, since 1963-1969 Peter Hermann, 1966 Walter Stephens, 1974-75 Gabriel Kupfernagel, 1976-77 Reinhard Welschiner, 1978 80ths Walter Thomas Hayne, 1981 Bernd Frank, 1985 Rolf Fischer, 1987 Olaf Hensoldt, 1988 Stefan Schleiermacher, 1988-89 Caspar René Hirschfeld, Carola Nasdalla, Michael Schonheit, Michael Stockett, Matthias Henneberg, Mendelssohn Scholarship in the United Kingdom. The funds raised at the 1848 concert were invested and allowed to accumulate until 1856, when Arthur Sullivan was elected as the first scholar. Since then it has been awarded from time to time, administered by the Mendelssohn Scholarship Foundation, which is linked to the Royal Academy of Music. The foundation was created by a trust deed in 1871. Its trustees include the composers Anthony Payne and Justin Connolly, and the principal of the Royal Academy of Music, Jonathan Freeman Atwood, and its charitable objects are for the education of musical students of both sexes in pursuance of the intentions of the founders. Recipients include the composers Frederick Corder, George Dyson, Malcolm Arnold and Kenneth Layton. The following is an incomplete chronological list of recipients of the British Mendelssohn Scholarship. 1856 Arthur Sullivan, 1865 Charles Swinnerton Heap, 1871 William Shakespeare, 1873 Eaton Fanning, 1875 Frederick Corder, 1879 Maud Valerie White, 1881 Eugene D'Albert, 1884 Marie Wurm, 1890 S. P. Waddington, 1905 George Dyson, 1935 Daniel Jones, 1948 Malcolm Arnold, 1951 Kenneth Layton, 1954 Francis Burt, 1956 John Exton, 1960 David Blake, 1962 Richard Stoker, 1964 Patrick Stanford, 1968 Brian Ferniehow, 1969 Jonathan Lloyd, 1972 Nicola Lafanu, 1974 Richard Blackford, 1979 Lionel Sainsbury, 1985 James Harley, 1986 Javier Alvarez, 1988 Martin Butler, 1997 Richard Corsten, 2000 Luke Bedford, 2002 Cheryl Francis Hode, 2004 Oliver Searle, 2006 Nadu Klein, 2008 Samuel Bordoli, 2010 Christian Mason.